We're going to discuss the safety and security of people in New York City and stock market. Good morning, Dr. Roman Bonilla. I've been having nipple itches. Nipple's been itching. My left nipple has been itching for more than a week now. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, hormonal changes. The city's into injecting people with hormones, exposing people to estrogen, the testosterone, using dirty needles on people, so on and so forth. And last night, I had to put a band-aid on my nipple because the left nipple continues to be bothersome, continues to have like a nerve, like it's like an anxious nipple in which you feel it. It's something that you feel it. And if people are into giving, trying to snip your balls off, if people are into estrogen, are into giving testosterone without others' consent, they should get the gun to their face because they're playing with our body. Because remember, they don't care about their body here. Their body is it's not a temple. It's more of a whatever they want to stick in it. They'll stick weed in it. They'll stick crack in it. They'll stick grabba in it. And they know that you're healthy. They know that you have a single beer a day. They know that you are sticking enough calories in your body. So they, in turn, try to do harm to you. Try to harm the hormonal system, the thyroidal system, the psychological system by smoking coke next to you, giving you anxiety so that you can't do your job. And it went from anxiety to now hormonal imbalance. Why is that? Why is New York doing that to people? Why do they wake up in the morning and say, I'm gonna prick someone with some estrogen? Yeah, let me hit a guy with estrogen because I want him to be a faggot. It shouldn't be that way. New York City should not be that way. And I know it's hormonal because it would irritate, it wouldn't itch, it wouldn't be, it's like getting an erection. If you're getting an erection without having intentions, or you have a extended extension, someone put something in your food. It could be a crushed up pill, could be some medicine, could be some injection. Stating. So I'm guessing since I started having the chopped cheese, you know, my nipple's been bothering me. Or maybe since I started drinking beer, my nipple's been bothering me. But why is that? Why is that New Yorkers continue to stick foreign things into other people's bodies and nobody has corrected them yet? When are they going to correct them? When are they going to catch them? In Puerto Rico, you see what I mean? Places that there's way more drugs, higher potent drugs. Drug dealers have control of the drug using population at an iron fist. You're not going to smoke near them. You're not going to act like a liberal and puff next to the drug dealer. Now the drug dealer is going to whoop your ass. You're not one guy is going to whoop your ass. At least three, four of them to let you know that you don't do drugs next to those people because they don't want to hear what they don't want to smell what they sell. The same thing with doing cocaine. If they catch you doing cocaine next to an area where you don't like, when you're not supposed to be doing drugs, a bar's bathroom, in the bar, in a parking lot, whenever these people catch you, they will get take you to Pound Town. You will go to Pound Town. You will understand what not to do in front of people. But here in the city, they could do whatever they want next to you. They could smoke crack next to you, and nobody's gonna give a shit. Why? Because nobody has taken to themselves, giving them proper corrective measures so that they don't affect the general population. That therefore you got people pricking people out here with needles. They haven't gotten a bullet in their body yet. You got people smoking dangerous drugs or blowing dangerous drugs at people when they sleeping, maybe with hormones, pricking, using dirty needles, Ozempic, Narcan, all the, treating people like if they were their own, science experiment, like if we were guinea pigs, and we're not guinea pigs. All they need is some corrective enforcement, corrective reinforcement, and it requires violence. You got to be violent with drug users, because if you're not, it's gonna be your son. You see, it's gonna be your daughter. He's gonna show your daughter, oh look, I could do cocaine. Look, put powder in his nose. He's gonna be smoking dangerous substances next to children. And that's the problem right now in the city. That's why nobody gives a shit. And I tell them, yo, you guys have me as an ashtray here. Get away from me. Get away from me. And I put my mask on quickly. Why? Because the psychology of the New Yorker does not give a fuck. He thinks he's a rebel. He thinks he's a badass. But in Puerto Rico, we catch him when we get him big time. You rolling a blunt in a Burger King, the main drug dealer sees you with that weed, knowing that it's his weed, you's gonna get beat right there at the parking lot. You be, taking your Philly Dutch and cracking it and your little Philly cracking, doing the guts and rolling up in the car. He catch you. Depot come out, bro. He'll pull you out that motherfucker. He'll beat you for it. And that's how Puerto Ricans have control of people when it comes to drugs. Because if they didn't, they'd be just like here in New York City. They'd be just like here, dirty needle, putting a dirty needle in you, smoking crack in front of you and blowing the smoke in your face. They'd be liberal. Whatever they stuff in their nose, blowing that at you, it'd be chaos out there with hardcore narcotics. And there's fentanyl, there's cocaine, there's crystal methamphetamine, there's cannabis, but people don't give a fuck here. People are retarded here. They don't get what they're doing to other people around them. Every time a random white person, a random black person, a junkie injects someone with some kind of needle, with some type of foreign object, that person should get punished by law. Because you don't know what the fuck that needle had. But now you have it in your body. It already entered your body. Why? Because the liberal mind has no bounds. You see? It's like Sodom and Gomorrah. It doesn't care. It's the same. It's like macho queer guys looking to fuck straight people. It's the same thing. It's the same concept. People that have lack of self-control, people that don't care what they do to other people, and people that are going to continue doing what they are doing to other people without positive reinforcement. Because it's for real, bro. It's catching someone where you don't want them to smoke. They could be smoking a motherfucking Marlboro Red or a fucking Marlboro Light or whatever, and they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it because they don't want you to do drugs next to certain people. They don't want the cigarette smoke, the crack smoke to enter their window where their children is at. You understand what I'm saying? Here, the city is all free and careless when it comes to drugs now. But over there, they learned that lesson. Over there, when they get that Jordan Nike shoe up in their earlobe, when they catch them with that Jordan, that kick comes out of nowhere, and they kick their eye socket like a fucking soccer ball. Boom! That's when they comes, I can't smoke next to people. I'm supposed to be doing this in the park over there. Yeah, I'm gonna get high. Yeah, you're not supposed to be getting high in front of people. You're supposed to be getting high on that bench at the corner of the park where nobody notices you, where nobody even sees you. You light it, you keep it cupped. You know what cupping a blunt is? You keep it cupped, you keep it at the palm of your hand, and you suck it, and that's it. You're not supposed to be, enforcing or encouraging public drug use, because in turn, I'm gonna get pricked. I'm gonna get powders blown on me. Literal powders blown on me. People are gonna smoke random substances next to me all night, and it's because nobody's enforcing that. Nobody's putting pressure on these people to stop doing drugs, to stop smoking on the bare minimum. Stop smoking next to me. I don't give a fuck what you're smoking, but stop smoking next to me. You're making me hold my breath because I have no idea what you rolled up. You understand what I'm saying? And the majority of the time, it's not even weed, because real weed, you could breathe it in and it's like incense. What they're smoking is not weed. What they roll up in their blunt smells like chemicals. You don't want to breathe that in. If it's someone that has real, homegrown, real cannabis, nobody has a problem with it. They smell it. That smells good. You tell them that's a really good smell, man. And that's a real cannabis smoker. The majority of them that are 1%, that person is 1%, are smoking crack, are smoking crushed up pills, are smoking laced PCP, angel dust, fentanyl up in there. They smoking whatever the heck they want next to you, and nobody has put them in the pound town with the with the shit lit. You know, they like that. If they light it and boom, 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 catch him and throw him. You know, grab him with everything he got and throw him across the street. His shoe and everything. Just if he loses his shoe, chuck the shoe at that man for doing drugs next to people. Puerto Rican culture knows exactly how to do it, and nobody's doing it here. And you get hormonal problems out of random. You know, luckily it isn't an erection, but it's an itchy nipple. You know, my nipple's kind of, there's something going on with my left nipple. My hormones are a little off, and I wonder why are my hormones a little off. Well, the getting pricked at the thigh, got the smoke, the drug, the anxiety, right? The people doing motherfucking dope next to you, and all this. It gotta stop. New York gotta wake the fuck up. New York got to wake the fuck up. And what they're doing and the direction they are headed is anti themselves. It's anti-purity. It's anti-purity because you can't even be next to those people in a public library. In a public library, you got to pull out a mask and put it around your face because these people are covered in fucking narcotic. Covered. Toe to head. You know, ass to head, to toe, the fingers, to the grease they leave behind. They're full of it. They're full of it. And nobody is eyeballing the situation. Nobody's paying attention to what these people are doing. NYPD is not prosecuting people the way they're supposed to be prosecuting over drugs. NYPD is focusing on gangs and guns, but they should be tracking. They should be tracking. You should be tracking the new drug. Oh, let me snort some baby powder, vanilla. Yeah, let's smoke some baby. You know, snort some baby powder. They should be tracking people that are, you know, pushing these drugs onto other people. We don't want to be part of it. You know, they want to push it on you. You know, like it's some, I don't know. They just want to get close to you and do it. You know, they want to get real close to you when they doing drugs. They want to, you know, get real liberal styling. Oh, I want to do narcotics in front of you and shit. And they need to get violated for that, bro. New York City got to wake the fuck up and start pounding on them. Beat them. Beat them. Beat them. Because if you don't, it's going to continue. It's going to get worse. Because they're going to stop. They're going to mature as drug users, right? They're going to go through the stages of drug use, the gateway drug. For the ones that smoke cannabis, you're not, the one you're in front is not a cannabis smoker. He's already an upgraded. He's doing something else on it. It could be a little grava, which is not even tobacco. It could be a little crushed up pill. Could be sprayed on saw. He's doing it next to you. So the ones that are really doing drugs next to you have already gone or hurdled over the real cannabis. You know, they have already. If they're doing it next to you in a park, they're not smoking weed. I know they're not smoking weed. I smoked weed for 16 years, and I know how it smells. I know the sweetness, the fragrance. It's like, yeah, he could be there. I don't care if he smokes there. I don't care. He could smoke weed, but he could sit right there, and it wouldn't bother the surrounding area. You understand what I'm saying? When they would do it, I could be here fine, and nobody would happen. But what they're doing out there is it makes you stop breathing it because you know it's toxic. You know it's narcotic. You know it's narcotic. You know it's chemical. It's not natural. So you gotta hold your breath like a fish out of water. Just put the mask on, hold it. Tell them, hey, you smoking? Get out of here. Get out of here. And you tell them every day. And they continue doing it every day. Boom, boom. It's like beating a dead horse. Stop. But they don't get it. And they'll get closer each day. You know, they'll smoke. Instead of smoking at that chair, now they smoking next to you. You right there. And again, and next to you, and closer and closer and closer. So they blowing the smoke in your face. And what's the health concern? Anxiety. You can't work. You can't think. That anxiety ramps up, and you do no drugs, ramps up, and it's thanks to people changing your balance, taking your purity from you because they're liberal, taking your purity from you. Luckily, they haven't gotten in too deep in my body to lose my neurons, but they have already started the anxiety, which destroys mental and neurological connections. Trying to take purity from people. Why? Because in their mind they think that everyone should do it and that hippie, happy face shit. And nah, Pound Town. Without that, you and me wouldn't function because you'll get to the morning, right, in a crowded train at night or whatever, and now you breathing someone else's smoking fentanyl. You breathing it in, dun, 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 dun. That's just lowering your health. They taking your health, and nobody's doing nothing about it. Nobody could grab that man and beat him in the subway train so that he never steps on that subway train again. NYPD doing nothing, and it's going to continue being the same. In the end, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be 10 times healthier the second I leave the city. I know that my beauty, I'm going to turn more beautiful like that the second I get out the city. Why? Because of the condition in this city. Because of how nasty and dirty is this fucking city right now. Because the majority is fucking doing drugs. The majority, not the small amount. The majority is doing drugs. The majority, not the small amount. Not that it's a small amount of people. Oh, that's only the pot smokers. You're picking on people. Oh, they have health concerns. The mental health, they are not. The majority is doing drugs in this motherfucker, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. If they can't control themselves to go to that park, cuff they blunt, and smoke it without being obvious, away from people, they pose a health concern. They pose a real health concern because you have no idea what they smoking. They're not smoking weed because if they smoke weed, nobody really gave a shit about them. They would smell it. That smells pretty fragrant. I like that. And you know how many of those people are there in the city? A handful, less than 5 people in 2 years that are smoking real weed. Less than five. The rest, it's toxic chemicals. The rest is not natural. The rest they're sticking into their lungs. Shit that a regular human being wouldn't breathe in. Would just be like, stop. Ooh, get away from me. And they want to do it real close to you. Real close. Let's keep it quiet. I already set my point, set the trend so that people listen to what's happening in the city. If you're in New York City, you got to stop. You got to stop. We're not going to breathe your shit in. They should violate you. They should beat the shit out of you. They should stomp you on the ground just for a cigarette out here. I don't give a fuck if it's legal. They're doing it on purpose. You're smoking next to people on purpose. You're not doing it because you need a fix. Because people who need a fix, they smoke in front of their house. People who need a fix, they do it, and they when they really need that shit, they climb the roof. They do it out the window. They do it in front of their house. You're going next. New Yorker psychology is to go right next to someone and like that horse shit. And it's not right. It is not right. You are a public health concern. You are a walking, ticking bomb full of pneumonia, full of AIDS, if you're pricking yourself, full of all these fucking neurological disorders, because you're fried. You're fried up here, and you're trying to fry people around you. You're trying to make people feel the same disgusting energy that's in your body because you don't care. Because you don't care. Because you're not about just, oh, I need to get high or I need to smoke. Let me walk outside the door and do it at the door of some place quick. Nah, you want to go find a real special place where it's public and there's lots of people instead of doing the complete opposite. And you want to light right there. You want to light right next to other people instead of cupping your blunt and going where nobody fucking sees you to go do that shit real quick and neck it till the whole fucking till the 4 inches of that shit turn to a fucking roach. Flick the roach, even a fat one. Just flick that shit and get back to work. Get back to whatever you're doing now. They're doing it to get real close to personal and make it a pressing social issue. They're doing it because they have the power. They live, smoke next to people. And what they doing is destroying me in the process, destroying my neurological, giving me anxiety, tapping, foot tapping, nail biting, and I haven't even picked up a cigarette yet. Foot tapping, instability. I'm not grounded anymore in the city. I used to be grounded until they started smoking next to me every fucking day because they don't like me. You understand what I'm saying? You know what being grounded is, right? Something that you don't understand. I took 10 years to finish a doctorate. To be grounded, you wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning in one seat without moving till 3, 4 p.m. I can't do that anymore. I can't. It's real impossible to do that in the city. Why? Because during the night, during times off work, people are actively doing hardcore drugs. You understand what I'm saying? Do I make sense? That's what they take from you. They take from you the ability to sit straight, have a neurologically neutral body in which you could finish your work without having to move. And they're not even smoking it. They want to do it real close. They're not even inhaling it. It's about, they're not even taking it to the lungs. They pussy with it too. Stinking up the place. So you have to breathe the actual thing into your body, But nobody gonna wake up. When they gonna wake up? When are people gonna really, get them? Get them, even for the cigarette. Because some people smoke cigarettes and you don't even smell that they're there. You smell the Freon. Only the Freon. Only the sharp thing. The really sharp, faint smell that's really sharp. That's Freon within a regular manufactured cigarette. The rest, you don't smell it because they stick everything else in their lungs. Some people can smoke right next to you a cigarette and you only smell a little bit of that Freon and that's it. But they like a chimney, creating this fucking cloud, affecting people neurologically around them because they're not doing weed. If they were doing weed, nobody would give a shit about them. Nobody would give a shit about what they're doing. They could do that with real weed and nobody would have a problem with what they're doing. They're doing hard drugs. And New York has not woken their ass up. Keep it quiet. Hope you guys have a good day.